welcome to Listen to Your channel. Welcome to January 4th. Can you imagine? We're already in the fourth day of the year. How does it feel? How does it feel? How does it feel? Are you feeling like the New Year buzz is worn off already? I'm not sure. You know, it's Friday, first Friday of the new year. What we gonna do? What we gonna do? What we gonna do? You know what? I'm gonna ask for guidance. I use these for me to learn and practice. If you haven't noticed, and you don't need to know this, but I use it to practice my tarot because I am not a tarot reader. I am an oracle card reader, and I will say that till I die. I read oracle cards. I love my oracle cards. They are the shiz and I still need to learn them and continue to get in touch with them because they always be changing, especially the more I evolve. So I use these dailies to, yes, do some daily guidance or just whatever the message wants it to be. But then I also really low-key use it to practice. So it's a safe space for me because it's a very intimate audience and I like that. So I am going to try here to do the reading for Friday. I was asking which decks wanted to speak today. I typically ask the Oracle decks, and today I'm asking the Tarot. Actually, the Tarot was speaking to me. She was all, use me loose. No, JK. The tarot cards I have are very soft and loving, actually, and giving. They work with me. I really appreciate them. So I will be using tarot today to see what our guidance is for the day. Let's see how this goes. This is new. Starting off with tarot is not a thing I do. So let's just see what the guidance is for us today using tarot. What is our guidance today? In order to live in our highest good, what is our guidance today? Alright. Knight of Swords comes out. He comes out like this. I instinctively want to flip him like that. The Hermit comes out. He's in reverse. He stays in reverse. The Hermit in reverse is like me. That is the card that comes out the most as far as major arcana for me. Nice to know I'm still in that phase. Great. In any case, we're in there today. We're here today. Okay. The clear message here is not to rush. That's the most basic message I can tell you here. The message here is not to rush. It is a heavy not rush. Do not act impulsively. And pause. Like, take a healthy pause and maybe even reassess what you're trying to do. Reassess where you're going. You know, take a second. And then take another second after that second. And then maybe take a couple more seconds after those seconds. Because it seems like wherever it is that you are rushing to impulsively is not going to be quite victorious for you. I asked, hey, the Knight of Swords is rushing somewhere. Where's he rushing to? And he's rushing to this either ill-fated victory, or he's rushing to help somebody who is ailing in their victory. And the Knight of Swords is either rushing to help somebody, I just said that, help somebody who may not need to be helped. This could be doing someone's spiritual work or doing someone's work for him, standing up for somebody who needs to be able to stand up for themselves. Or this is you speaking too fast and you leading yourself into a false victory. Because this is the Knight of Swords, yeah. He comes out like this. This is two horses going in the wrong, different directions. This is also two horses going in different directions. They're going to hit on. With this, they're kind of going in the same direction. But what I'm seeing here is this Knight of Swords rushing to this parade and being slowed down. Now, impulsively, this could mean a myriad of things. A myriad of things. I'm not that adept to pull out every single I do believe, I want to say that you are righteous in where you are going. I'm just going to say, don't do it impulsively. I think there's a certain call for pause. I'm going to say pause because I see white horses here. Ain't no bad guy who ever rolled up on a white horse. Okay? There's some virtue in whatever it is that you're trying to go, wherever it is that you're trying to rush to, there is a virtue there. But I feel like if you act prematurely, if you act before your time, you may fuck yourself over a little bit. You may run into a crowd of people and you can't move through. You may run into some conflict that's not for you to deal with, and then it becomes for you and it slows you down on your journey. In the meantime, the Hermit here comes out being like, bruh, hey, Knight, you gotta go this way. Go this way, buddy. Go this way. So I ask, where is the Hermit leading the Knight of Swords to? And the Hanged Man comes out. Our favorite Hanged Man fucking comes out in the reverse. Again, I think it's a pause. The Hanged Man cannot go anywhere on one foot. Because here, really, just looking at imagery, he's on one fucking foot. You don't go so far with that. Just pause for a second, you know? Hold up for a second. Just wait a minute. I don't think it's too... I think it's to... Because the Hanged Man sometimes in the reverse is like what is it, a martyr? In the upright is like a martyr. Right, whatever. For me, what I'm seeing here is it's don't put yourself out, not say don't put yourself out there for others. I don't like that type of message because then people become dicks, and I don't want to subscribe to the spirituality and new age wisdom that says be a dick, basically. Like, don't do anything for others, focus on yourself, everybody for himself. Like, I hate that. I don't like that at all. That's not what I'm saying. That's never what I'm saying, unless I say that's what I'm saying. But I'm going to be typically cringy about that. That's not what I'm saying. But, okay, today, it looks like pause before you run into any sort of conflict that's not for you, before you run into something that's going to be conflictuous. Take a chill pill. Don't do it so impulsively. Think a little bit about your argument. Consider what you need to do. Don't put yourself out there martyrdom style and be like, hey, I'm out here, crucify me. Nah. Wait a little bit. Figure out your argument. See what you gotta do about what you gotta do. And then go from there. That's what I'm seeing here. Today, don't act impulsively. Compose your argument before you go rushing into something that isn't for you to rush into quite yet. Quite yet. Because I feel like it'll slow you down on whatever victory or journey, rather, you're going to. This guy wanted to be all clarifier out here. I've never done this before. Can we just do a cheers for what I'm about to do right now? I've never done tarot with tarot. Ooh. Oh my god, this is a straight up tarot reading. Ooh. I keep seeing the tower and then I see the sun. Well, I saw the sun once. I keep seeing the tower. I saw the tower twice. So let's not even make it about that. Okay, so let's see what we can do here with getting myself into more trouble. Okay, this is the Eight of Cups with the Hermit. So that's cool. Walking away. That's the Hermit right there. Doing the thing with the stick. If that's not clarifying the Hermit, I don't know what is. But I am going to put this card back. Let's just remember the Eight of Cups is clarifying the Hermit in reverse. Alright. Alright. Death in reverse. I wish I'd kept the Eight of Cups out. Yeah. So, to me, this is the Knight of Swords trying to act out of you don't have all the facts, or you don't have all the information, or you're blinded. You don't know enough to move forward. You don't know enough to charge in. You go and get swallowed in the crowd in some sort of way here. It could be that you are a little bit more... This is a Seven of Cups, and this guy is basically blinded, and he's blind, okay? And he also has a whole bunch of options, but these options are worth nothing to him as someone who can't even see them. On the other side, he's blinded by the light. On here is the light reversed. This is the Yogini. Is this the Yogini? I don't know what she's doing. She's naked, though. But this is death reversed. This is... I feel like it's still this. Like, I feel like it's still... Like, wait. Pause. The sun will come up eventually. Clarity will meet you. This light on the back will meet you. Just... wait a bit. I don't know what you're waiting for. I don't know what guidance this is particularly for in your life. Or where it hits, if it's business, if it's romance, if it's whatever. But, you know, that seems to be what I'm getting today. On this Friday. Two of Pentacles in reverse is telling me confusion with that Two of Pentacles. He dropping the balls. He's dropping the balls. He's not able to please these crowds that are watching him here. He's not able to please them with the show that he's putting on. He's overwhelmed. He can't do the thing that he needs to do there. And then, do you see it? Here we have all four suits. We have air, wands, earth, and water. What is wands? Fire. You have all the elements at play. Now, granted, one of them is a court card. I don't really count those. Those are somewhere in between a major and a minor. But I feel like with all these elements at play, you need to take a chill pill before you really do a certain thing. Act impulsively in whatever it is today. Act before you don't have all the facts. Act before you can really see. I say this is another one of those step back days. A Queen of Wands in reverse. Okay. The Wheel of Fortune flipped in my hand to the Magician side. This is, I mean, Magician stuff here with all those elements at play. And the Chariot. Go this side. Okay. Everybody's cool here. I don't know why she's in reverse. The Queen of Wands. I don't like having the Queen of Wands in reverse, but I suppose with everything else here, I feel like she's more so gestating before she takes the action that she needs to take. There's something here about this wilderness here. She's seated in a throne of, not weeds, but in a throne of roots. She's seated in a throne of roots, and she's blinded. She's blinded. No, sorry. Is she blinded? Nah, is she blinded? Nah, she's closing her eyes and thinking about what to do here. No, I'm not gonna. Page of Wands. Another cloaked figure with a stick. Clarifying the Hanged Man and the direction, rather, that the Hermit is trying to lead us to is, I think, a little bit more still certainty and waiting for the right time to take action, because the right time will be coming. Here with the Wheel of Fortune, with the Magician's side, and you will have a say. I feel like you will know, you will be the one to take action when the time is right. This man, who is this man? The Chariot, that's who it is. The Chariot is on its way. The Chariot is leading this. The Chariot is pulling this phenomenon, whatever this thing is for you. The Chariot is pulling it along, and the Chariot is that shooting star. So follow that star, follow that guiding light that the Chariot is leading you to. And here with the Page of Sticks, Wands, telling me about the Queen of Wands. Not helpful, not helpful. But he's a boy on a journey. He's a little young thing on a journey. But he is no longer just a little young thing. He's a little wiser. He's a little wiser. He's maybe even rising. So if you've been, not to say you've been beaten necessarily, but if you've been feeling some type of way, because the Queen of Wands in reverse is a scary queen to me. I'm not sure if this is the energy of her right now, but she seems a little absent. Really, almost like no one's sitting in that chair. She's out. And perhaps this is the queen here. The page on his way to being a queen, but not quite the queen yet. The page still trying to figure out where he's going. Let's get into it. He's learned. He's a big boy, though. He's a big little boy. Yeah, he's a big boy. You don't call a man a big boy. You call a big boy a big boy. Night has fallen, and the Knave now stands under a brilliant canopy of stars. Constellations draw his attention and demand contemplation of cosmic mysteries. A phoenix rises, screaming from his campfire. This is a person whose inner self is secretly called toward things outside the mundane and the explainable. That's true. This is a soul who longs for magic and meaning, but his youthful self-consciousness may disguise that longing for fear of being mocked. Yes. Because she's nuts. He needs solitude to explore the inner realms. That's funny. Patient teachers to encourage him, and understanding friends who bring out his best qualities. I'm going to repeat. He needs solitude to explore the inner realms. Patient teachers to encourage him. Does this look familiar? This little young man with a stick? This old man with a stick? There's a lot of majors on this side. Which tells me, whenever I see a lot of majors, I feel like things are still up in the air. Things are not quite decided yet. Like, things are still in flux. And their energies are entirely too big to really make any moves. Now, while I myself am still learning tarot, when I see a bunch of majors, I'm just kind of like, okay. It's like a block. In some cases, like, obviously each of these majors has their own message, but especially with the wheel coming out here, it's kind of like, okay. But the nice thing is, I like on this side, it's the wheels part of the Magician, which is, to me, it tells me that there is still a hand that you play here. It's just you have yet to reach the part that you are able in order to play the hand that you play. Yes, you have the Magician's tools here, but they're not They're not what they need to be. You're blind here. You don't know what to choose. You're going in blind. Here, you're going into a crowd of people. You're going to get blinded. Here, there's too many things that you have to juggle. There is unbalance. You're not, who are you really pleasing here? You're blind. You're blind. You're blind on this side. On this side, when you go where the hermit is trying to lead you to, then this can start shining. The sun starts shining on the rebirth from the death. Then you can get into a dip. I don't think this is a heavy pause. I don't think this is like a massive, huge pause. I just feel like it's like a take a step back, take a breather before you do anything impulsive, basically. Because things will turn in favor of where you need to be in order to make the moves that you need to make. Today, however, no. I wasn't gonna do this, but I can't. I can't have no oracle cards. It's already been 21 minutes. I get it now. I get how people can like do tarot readings for an entire something in like 7 minutes. I was like, oh, okay, that's nice. Oracle cards are like, let's dance in your mind a little bit. I please have some. Treasure Island in Protection. This talks about being in the flow. It talks about taking a risk and continuing to move along. It talks about taking a risk. It's just sometimes a risk isn't always jumping. Sometimes the risk is staying put where you're at. Because the risk is different for everybody. If you're an action taker, a risk is not to take action. If you're a busybody, a risk is not to be a busybody. If you're typically quiet, a risk is to speak up and say something. I'm going to read that to you. I'm going to read this message to you. But the funny thing is, Treasure Island is number 9. The Hermit is number 9. And the reverse is number 6. So I feel like there could be a victory coming along as we have a 6 here. It's just, wait. Just chill a second. But there will be a chance for you to still move forward. Like you're moving forward by waiting still. Does that make sense? You're moving forward by waiting. Like you're calibrating. But not even calibrating. I feel like you're getting more information. There's some things that you may not know about a certain situation, or certain things that you haven't really reached the level of understanding that you need to reach in order to move. So, this says, poverty consciousness and a sense of not enough cast a shadow on your path. These ideas and core beliefs come with a high cost. Do you really want to proclaim yourself a victim of disappointment and failed expectations? A victim of disappointment and failed expectations? This is a victory. This is not so much a victory. This is like, conflict for me. Are you avoiding success because you will grow so tall that others will want to cut you down? Or is it possible that you're caught in a fear that you will lose what you have acquired, so you hold on tight, that you miss the opportunities to expand? You are challenged to change the way you see the world. The Hanged Man, anybody? This way. To change the way you see the world and move from a perception of limitations to a perception of abundance. Take a risk, for you have nothing to lose except your confinement in a prison of your own making. Open the door and find the abundance waiting for you to claim it. So, that's what I have for you today. I don't know how people do this on the daily, but I missed my oracle cards and I needed to have a little oracle up in there. So thank you so much, Wisdom of the Oracle, for adding the punctuation mark to this reading. I hope that this reading served you in some way. At the very least, it was something that we could join in together. So keep your light on, and good luck.